There's this channel I've recently been watching while I'm eating to distract myself from having any original thought, and the channel is called Enes Yomazer. And he basically just goes to extremely high-end luxury houses, mansions, yachts, penthouses, whatever, right? And I'm not gonna say that I know anything about architecture. I'll fully admit that I'm the kind of person who sees this video and this caption and goes, wow, what an idiot, despite having no experience or knowledge in construction. After the initial wow factor from the first few luxury house tour videos wore off, I developed a sort of eye for a lot of these houses. You know, things like, hey, this house is twice as expensive as this other house which had better features, or wow, this bathroom is terrible. And obviously through more and more exposure and more late nights eating gas station food at 3 a.m. alone in my house, I noticed patterns between a lot of these luxury houses that really started to bug me, because anything associated with the word luxury has this almost like mystical feel to it. It's pretty much impossible for the average person to get a glimpse of that side of the world. So the rare times we do, it's like, oh my god, dude, look at that. They got a home cinema and a spa in their house. That's so sick. But when you get to sort of like peek behind the $2 million custom Gucci Vuitton curtain and fully see the world of luxury architecture, you realize that a lot of it is made up of just these impractical, superfluous, and ugly houses that are devoid of anything noteworthy besides their price tags. Alright, let me set the record straight. If you're living in a house like this, you're generating a massive passive income, which basically just means that you make money without having to actually work. Like if you own a business or you have investments or whatever. There's those three idiots that are like, there's no such thing as passive income, you work for it. Like, bruh, if I wake up and I'm $20 richer, that's passive income, okay? But you're generating this ridiculous amount of money without having to actually physically go to work. Well, what do you do at your house all day in your free time? Nothing you do at home in your free time justifies having this much space. There is not a single hobby or recreational activity that would require this much space. I bet my $400,000 piece of modern art that 99% of these people's times at home is spent in the same three rooms, just like you and me. The bedroom, the kitchen, and the bathroom. And it's like, what's the point of having this giant house and spending all this money if you're just doing the same things every other human does in their free time, which is sleep, eat, shit, and then repeat it all the next day? I mean, if you throw a lot of parties and always invite people over, I can see why a big house like this would be nice, but nah, man. Fuck that. That sounds like a surefire recipe for depression. Imagine throwing this lavish party at night and having the time of your life and then waking up the next day to this completely empty and silent solar flare of a house. The people who own these houses are like those neckbeard redditors who still unironically make PC master race jokes in fucking 2022 and get 3 NVIDIA Titan 5s and 120 gigabytes of RAM for their setup, even though all they ever use their computer for is switching between the same 3 websites and giving themselves seizures every single time they do the simplest thing. Like they can't type a single word or click their mouse without their room looking like this. Why do they all have 2 to 3 monitors as well? I never understood that. If you want to have something on in the background, put it in a different tab. Your computer comes with that function. Oh, but it's more convenient to have one monitor for Discord and one for YouTube. Bruh, do you fucking hear yourself right now? Having 2 monitors is the equivalent of buying 2 phones under the same phone number and delegating one to texting and the other one to calling. Like, your fucking phone is already capable of doing both of those things. You're just unnecessarily complicating things. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. Anyway, like I was saying, a lot of these houses don't even justify their prices with actual quality or practicality. Like, why do the bathrooms all suck? That's like the one place you'd want your house to be especially nice. They built this giant wine cellar, but their bathroom is the same size as the one in my 1,500 square feet apartment, and there's absolutely no personality to it. I feel like if you were to come into excessive amounts of fuck you money, a quality bathroom and shower is the first thing you'd splurge on. Bathroom is the room in any house where people are always at their most comfortable, because, I mean, think about it. The bathroom is the one place in the house where it's socially acceptable to puke, shit, piss, gum, clean yourself, cry, brush your teeth, and that's not even half of it. I mean, yeah, a 2,000 square foot kitchen and dining area is nice, but is it gonna be there for me when I drunkenly stumble home from a shitty college party at 2 a.m.? No, I didn't think so. Like, what? is this shit, bro? How is this considered a luxury bathroom? This looks like the bathroom at 7-Eleven. Don't give me something like this. Give me something like this so I can wash my balls like a king. Oh, the shower is glass too. That isn't even practical. Oh, sorry, son. Your father's taking a shower right now. So unless you want to see his wrinkled up, shriveled dick that stopped working 30 years ago, you'll have to take the ski lift to our guest house and use one of our other 40 bathrooms. And why are there always more bathrooms and bedrooms in some of these houses? Who's got a shit so bad at a moment's notice that they need twice as many bathrooms as bedrooms? And just the bathrooms that lack personality either. A lot of the time, it's the entire houses. There's never any colors besides white. There's never any personal touch anywhere. And everything in the houses is just copy and pasted what has been culturally decided as luxurious. You'd think that with all this space, you'd make it super customized and unique to you. I mean, Shaq has Superman all over his house and a basketball court in there. Do I at all agree with that? No, I still think it's fucking pointless, but I mean, at least there's still some personality to it. I've seen more character in my friends' tiny bedrooms than I have in these people's entire houses. These two houses in France that Enes toured were my absolute favorites I've seen though. Not only because you can see how much care and detail went into the architecture and planning them, but also because they broke a lot of the stereotypes I mentioned, except the bathroom one. They kind of dropped the ball on that one. The colors in this dining area are so pleasant, especially with the skylight coming in. The property itself is used really well and has a lot of natural beauty to it. The master bedroom actually looks like a master bedroom and feels big enough to be grand while still managing to be somewhat practical. And every second of this video, this house kept blowing me away with something new and impressive about it. Then the second house is insane. From the outside, it looks amazing, but still pretty unassuming. Like, if you saw just this entryway, you would not expect this house to have 7 whole stories. What's great is that the house is obviously built vertically instead of horizontally. So instead of being this giant empty manor, it's a bunch of cool rooms stacked on top of each other, and it manages to give you all these awesome features, but still being scaled down enough to where you can actually see people occupying this space. It's just all killer and no filler with this house. God, I sound like those adults who spend 40 minutes at the 4th of July party talking about their houses. I've become everything I hated, but I mean, it's true, man. I think these houses are cool, okay? And yes, I'm fully aware of the irony in buying an expensive-ass house that has rooms the same size or even smaller than a regular house, but pretty much all of what makes a house expensive is location or the views, and also all the small, intricate details that honestly really don't matter, like the paintings on your ceiling or wood carvings or the patterns on the tile, you know, things you wouldn't really notice unless you were someone who worked in either the construction or architecture field. And you know what? I'd rather see an overpriced house with normal sized rooms and accommodations than I would an overpriced house with a bunch of empty space like this. It's like these architects and planners can never manage to hit that nice in-between of luxurious and grand, but still practical. Everything is either way too big or way too overpriced, or God forbid, way too big and way too overpriced. It really feels like a lot of the time these people who own these houses are just buying things because they're expensive, regardless of if they actually like it. Like all the boring modern art you see along their walls that they buy to make themselves seem more sophisticated, even though this is literally just a red canvas that I bet cost like 40K, which is its entire own topic. I'm not even gonna get into, you know, the whole money laundering scheme that is the modern art world. Anyway, like I was saying, it feels like they just pay for things because they're expensive. Like when they pay 50K for a couch, like bruh, that couch better suck and fuck me for 50K. They're just buying things to impress other people instead of buying things that they actually like, which by the way, might I add, is the entire plot of American Psycho. Like home cinemas. If I have to see another one of these houses with a home cinema, I am going to commit vertical tortilla chip. Who the fuck is legitimately out here with a home cinema anymore? Ignoring the fact that streaming exists and you can pretty much watch any movie from anywhere you want. You can also get like an 80-inch flat screen off the internet for like $500, put it in a room, make it dark, and then bam, a home cinema for like a fucking like fraction of the price. And even after they buy all these unnecessary things so they can fill out their luxury house bingo card, it gets to a point where there's just so much space left over. Instead of doing anything useful with it, they just fill it with pointlessly bigger versions of rooms that already exist. Fuck it, honey, why not have 2 kitchens? Instead of just having bigger versions of rooms and features you'd find in a regular house, Do something creative with the space. Throw in a conversation pit. Have a bunch of colors everywhere. Build an indoor skate park. Have a room full of Fat Albert posters. I don't fucking know. Just use your vast amounts of fuck you money for something other than the same 4 things every other rich person has for 49 bathrooms. All of which are awful too. Like, genuinely, I don't know why all of the bathrooms in these houses are always awful. What the fuck is this? Surely there's something else you can do with all of this space and all of these rooms than just having 49 fucking bathrooms. Anyway, I've shit on other people's houses. Now let's get into what my ideal house would be. Obviously, this is operating under the assumption that one day I got so excessively rich that I could actually comfortably afford all these things. In actuality, my standards are pretty low. I don't actually care about any of these things, and I'm perfectly fine without them, but just like let me daydream, alright? Okay, so first off, my ideal house would be an apartment, and it'd be 5,000 square feet, because fuck having a house. I like having my only chores be cleaning, laundry, dishes, and walking 30 feet to the dumpster once a week to take out the trash, and not having to worry about the assholes from the city not taking it because I didn't sort it correctly. Alright, I don't want to have to mow the lawn, or weed whack, or clean the pool, and get on the roof and clean the gutters, although I will say it would be cool to own a Midwest emo looking ass house like this some point, just to appease my inner 22-year-old flannel wearing doomer from Minnesota named Daniel. The apartment also wouldn't have cramped hallways for the rooms. All of the houses I've lived in have had this exact same design where it's like kitchen, dining room, living room, all together on the right when you walk in, and then this narrow death trap of a hallway where all the rooms are on the left. Oh, and the apartment would also have an extra room, not really for anything in particular, just a miscellaneous empty room I can hang out in, have guests stay, I don't know, like work out, I don't know, just some sort of empty space, because there's really not anywhere I have my current house like that. It also have one of those Japanese baths where you can program the water temperature and set it to fill at certain times during the day, because I mean, why not? And the apartment would be high up with a window that looks out onto the street, so I can aesthetically look out of it at night and romanticize my melancholic solitude. Oh, and my room wouldn't have the bed in the middle because it's a long story. Basically, all of the rooms I've had in my life, I've had the exact setup where it's like bed in the middle and then weird fucking like rectangle shaped for a space to actually walk in. Because, I mean, I've just had it my entire life and I'm sick of it and I want something different. But to conclude this mad raving about rich people, a lot of these houses are butt fuck ugly, and just because something is expensive does not mean it's good.